What one thing do you think that countries, companies, or individuals must do to make the world a better place in 2008? I believe that the most strategic way that we may cultivate the prosperity of this world is through the promotion of education. As we sit on the heels of an information revolution, at no other time in history have the countries of this world been more empowered to promote education. Across the world, education takes on many forms and manifestations. However, I believe there are three transcendent and fundamental ways by which the leaders of this world must promote education. First, we must promote constructive decentralization in our education systems. I strongly believe that schools should develop according to the natural demand of society, rather than the artificial demand of the government. Education was never meant to be a centralized and hierarchical function of government, as the military and police are meant to be. How do we tap the ingenuity and success we find in the capitalistic economies? By increasing the autonomy of existing schools, by facilitating the development of new schools, and empowering society to decide which schools to send their children to. If we support autonomy, diversity, and choice, we will cultivate an environment of constructive decentralization that follows the natural demand of society. Secondly, we must preserve creativity in education. In this age of mechanical standards and statistical evaluation, subjective pursuits such as creative and imaginative thinking have been vastly marginalized. The creative class is the driving force of every society, and the arts are a vital part of each child's development. The value of the arts should not be underestimated simply because their objectives cannot fit neatly into a multiple-choice test. With higher autonomy provided to institutions in an environment of egalitarian decentralization, schools may pursue the arts and other creative curricula free of inhibition. Lastly, we must strive to increase equity in education. There are many people across the world not fortunate enough to even be squabbling about school choice or creativity in education because they cannot afford schooling in the first place. Where there is educational inequity, there is social inequity tenfold. The promise of public education is to be a social equalizer and a means for social mobility. By promoting public education around the world, we duly promote social equity. By promoting constructive decentralization, creative education, and educational equity on a global level, we could truly enter an age of educational renaissance. The stage is set, the powder is primed, and I want 2008 to be the year it begins.